Hey everybody, today we're here at the cemetery, and I'm here to pay my respects to my grandma Apple. And I wasn't able to come here on October 19th, so I'm making up for it being here now on November 2nd. There's my Uncle Tracy, my Grandpa Apple, and Grandma Apple. Grandma, I miss you. I can't believe you've been gone 20 years. Somehow I've survived not having you in my life for the past 20 years. But it would be a complete lie to say that I haven't missed you. I love you, and can't wait to see you someday when it's my time as well. Looking back on 20 years ago has been replaying in my mind. It does a lot, especially in October. And now here we are, 20 year anniversary of my Grandma Apple's death. She had gone into the hospital. I can't remember if she had a heart attack or what it was, but I just remember she had something put in to help her. I can't remember if it was a pacemaker or something. And whatever they put in, it wasn't strong enough to help keep her alive. I went to go visit her. I'm trying to remember what time it was. It had to have been like, gosh, it must have been like somewhere between like 3:30 and maybe 5 o'clock. And went to go visit her. I was very busy that day because at the time I had just started going to college at Cosumnes River College, CRC. And I had a radio show the next day. I was going to finally have my very first radio show, so I was prepping for that. And I made time out from that to go and visit my grandma in the hospital, and it was just me and her. And she had kind of like, I don't want to say she lost her mind, but she had a hard time remembering things. She kept thinking, while she was laying there in the hospital bed, she kept thinking that she was at home in the living room in her chair, and she had asked me about something that happened to be in the kitchen. In the kitchen there's a ceramic looking cake that's got strawberries and whipped cream on it. It's supposed to be like a strawberry shortcake basically, and something about, I don't remember the whole details, but there was something over there, and she asked me to go over there and go grab it. you know where it's at. It's in the kitchen. Something to that extent. And I told her, I said, you're not at home. You're in the hospital. And then she told, she then replied saying, oh, yeah. Anywho, getting so close to Halloween, I had stopped off at a store that used to be around. It's not around anymore. It's called Wish and Well. They would sell party supplies and holiday decorations and stuff for like carnivals. And stopped in there and got this little plastic like pumpkin like scarecrow. It was like rubber and it had string, and I gave that to her just as something to cheer her up, and I just was in there for a bit, and then I started to walk out, and something told me to go back in there, and so I walked back into the room with my grandma, and I can't remember if I held her hand or not, but I do remember I told her, I said, I love you and God bless you. And she's told me she loved me, and I'm sorry, now I'm crying. I think I was the last one to see her. I haven't cried like this in a while about my grandma. I went home, listened to some CDs and prepped for my radio show, and I got the phone call. You need to get to the hospital right away. But I got to the hospital. I was basically told that she's going to be gone. And when I walked into that hospital room and saw her, she didn't look like she was even alive. I held her hand. It felt very lifeless. Excuse me. I didn't realize I was going to get so choked up. And so something just didn't feel right. I felt like she was gone. I went home and I cried. And eventually, my mom and dad got home. And then, when I woke up the next morning, that's when I was told that she died. October 19th, 1999, at 11:40 p.m. I didn't know what to do. So I tried to forget about it, tried to play it off. And I still went to school that day and went ahead and did my radio show. And then after that, I went straight from there to my aunt's house, or where my grandma lived, where my aunt currently lives. And everyone in the family was there. I miss my grandma. She's missed out on some really cool things. But I know in the end, I'll see her. Because she believed in God. And I believe in God. And I know that when it's my time to go, we'll reunite. It'll be the greatest day ever. Be the greatest eternity ever. I'll see her and everyone else. That was just a very rough time. Such a rough time on my dad. It was a really rough time on my mom and my dad, because right around that time my brother had, I think it was like the day, I'm trying to remember, she passed on the 19th. I think we had her funeral on the 25th or the 26th. And the day before the funeral, my brother went in for back surgery, just like I did. About 9 months before that, for scoliosis. Yeah, I've had scoliosis, but I had something worse. I had something called kyphosis, and I still have the stainless steel rods along the side of my spine to prove it. My brother eventually had his removed because they were able to correct the alignment of his spine. But my brother was not present for the funeral. And so I remember the day of the funeral, we all showed up, and we were all over here at this building here in the distance. And that's where the service was at. And then we all carried the casket over here. My battery's starting to die. How ironic, I'm in a cemetery, my battery's about ready to die. Go figure. Anyways, you know, I felt like I had gotten it all out and everything, and they had an open casket, and I, walked past her casket, made eye contact with her lifeless body, and they didn't really have any reaction to it. It wasn't until my dad came up behind me and put his hands on my shoulders and started crying and telling me that how much she really loved me, and that's when I lost it. I just started crying. I even got up to the podium and said a little something about my grandma, and that her favorite holiday was Halloween. So this Halloween, let's not even celebrate Halloween, but let's honor her by celebrating Halloween. And boy, ever since her passing, I remember some things here and there about her, but the last and final view of her in my mind is seeing her lifeless body in the casket. And it's weird because every time I think about the good times that we had and I reflect on those, when I see her face, that's all I see is her lifeless body, her lifeless face in the casket. Now, I know I go to cemeteries all the time, and I'm really into this type of thing, but I'm not going to lie, it affects me just as much as it affects anyone else. I'm human. And I don't know what else to say. So on that note, if you were touched by this video, if you want to leave a comment down below and maybe share a story about someone that passed away that you loved or knew and how their death had affected you in some sort of way, and has maybe later on has made you a better person or a stronger person. I thank you for watching. I'm really sorry for crying. I don't really get emotional at graves. But just that thought of going back into and seeing my grandma one last time and saying, I love you, God bless. I swear to you, I did not think that would be the last time I saw her. And I'm pretty sure I was the last one to see her.